For more on all this, let's bring in California Congressman Devin Nunes, ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, good morning to you. So how big of a deal is this?
Well, this revelation of a new memo is something that I haven't heard of yet. The way that I look at this is that he gave some to one of his lawyers that was the professor, another one to former DOJ lawyer Fitzgerald, and now there's this other memo. And then, as John Roberts was saying, I had not heard about these other possible memos. So there's going to be a lot to look at, I think, over the coming months. The IG report is critical, but I would say most critical in all of this is going to be the U.S. Attorney out of Connecticut, Mr. Durham's investigation, because that comes with real FBI agents able to go out and talk to people that are no longer working at the Department of Justice or the FBI, and I think will constitute a real investigation. Well,
Jason Chaffetz joined us earlier, your former colleague, and he was really talking about the irony of these Comey revelations and just how important they are. Here's Jason Chaffetz.
There were code names and the real names of people that were informants for the FBI. You can't just take that information and put it into your own personal, have it personally. You just can't do that. And how ironic, because that was the allegation against Hillary Clinton, that there was classified information in a non-classified setting.
And now we know the Inspector General is going through them to see if they contained improperly any classified information.
Well, the whole idea that you can take something that is marked secret, no foreign, and then just decide on your own to take that out of a SCIF, so out of a controlled area, not handled properly, and take to someone's house or a university or wherever these memos went to, you just can't do that. And so what Hillary Clinton did is she had a server in her house with classified information on it. That's illegal. The same is true for a document. Especially if you purposely take a document. It's one thing if you accidentally walked out with it, but to walk out with something that is clearly marked secret, no foreign, I don't see. I mean, there's been people who have been busted for way less than that. I will tell you for sure. I mean, rank and file military intelligence people would never get away with what Mr. Comey so far is getting away with.
Tom Fitton from Judicial Watch was on with Sean Hannity last night talking about just what a big deal this is, and he makes the point that President Trump's rights were violated. Watch this.
This is a pretty big deal, and now we know for the first time the FBI was investigating his creation and handling of these memos, and it's a month after he's fired. They show up at his house, they're interviewing him, and he says, well, I have these memos. You want them? Come on, guys. The FBI let these records walk out the door, which is a violation of President Trump's rights.
He doesn't tell them that he's leaking them, he went on to say.
Right. And look, this is why the report, if the reports are true about having to send a spill team would only be sent and that to collect this classified information. I just want to reiterate this point. You cannot take classified documents out of any controlled space and put them somewhere and store them in an uncontrolled space. It's no different than the Hillary Clinton issue. So look, this is bigger than just these memos. Remember, those memos were leaked by Comey's own admission to spur a special counsel, the appointment of Bob Mueller. I mean, just that alone and of itself ought to, get Americans to sit back and think, well, wait a second here. You have a guy who's writing his own memos that are classified and then taking them places and leaking them on purpose to get a special counsel. And that's why this has been such a travesty, and why, you saw last week with Mr. Mueller's performance, it was such a joke. And that's why there has to be a real investigation on what actually happened and how what are the origins of not only the Russia investigation, but how on earth we're able to get a FISA warrant.
So put this all in perspective for us as we finish up here, Congressman. Where ultimately think that this leads us? Where does this go? What happens next with all this?
So Durham is the key. If we can get Durham. If Durham it can get all of the information and then begin to conduct interviews. I understand that he's beginning to do that. And then the key, I think, to watch will be, does he convene a grand jury? If he convenes a grand jury, I think then this will get much more serious, and then we'll be able to see if anybody is actually held accountable. I think at a minimum, what the American people can expect is we will finally understand what spurred this entire investigation going back all the way to 2016. There's still all these unanswered questions about who were these cast of foreign characters that were interacting with the Trump campaign. There's so much more to be learned about that.
We'll see. Congressman Devin Nunes, thank you.